What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all tuning in the channel here today at 323 Fabrication. Working on this old crusty GTO. As you can see, there's no front end on it. Shot a lot of footage. It was a lot of hard work. Had to cut the lower control arms off of it. We got some new control arms ordered off of eBay from old China. They're tubular, new bushings, new ball joints, you know, trying to do a little bit better job. Got some drag shocks for the front of it. Gonna clean up, paint the factory springs. Gonna wire wheel this whole frame. Paint, you know, firewall forward, because why do the whole thing? Let's just do what you can see, right? I don't know. We get a little bit at a time, just a little bit. But thing is, I had this awesome video shot and edited to upload and let y'all watch the front end come off this car, every bit of it. And unfortunately, the professional editor that I am, I deleted it, like the footage and everything, so I couldn't even upload it. It wouldn't work out. So I got a couple little clips I'll throw in this video today. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, show y'all some of that, and I guess you'll get to see it go back together instead of come apart. So we're 2 weeks from the event. The motor's junk, transmission's junk, so I don't know. But we're gonna keep working on it anyway. It does have a rear end under it, so that's good. Appreciate y'all tuning in. That's what we're working with. I've cleaned this side up, and of course it's been rained on 9 times. This side still needs to be cleaned, so that gives you a before and after at least. There's before, there's kind of after. Got this fancy factory General Motors welding going on. Tell you what, kinda rough, but I guess, you know, as long as it stays together. Some of this I'll show y'all that was in the other video. This is cracked on this spring pocket. The spring pocket on this side is cracked as well. Of course, I still got to clean this side up. As you can see, that it's cracked, runs down here. It's cracked real good back here. So once I get this all wire wheeled and all that, I'm gonna try to get it welded up so we can get some paint on it before it starts raining again. Just a little bit at a time, we're doing what we can. Got a bunch of new parts for the car. These are the wheels Michael hooked this up with. This is a front because the tire on the other rear exploded. You know, moving it around in the yard with the forklift. This is a rear. It's holding air, I think. Holding enough air anyway. So that's where we're at. That's the current status of the goat. It is Saturday, the 17th of September. There's the motor. Transmission's over there in pieces. So, you know, we're making progress. Got a bunch of new parts though. Painless harness, trans cooler, already had that. Cloy's double roller timing chain, professional products, steel dampener, new melon oil pump, bearings, rings, new water pump, both motor mounts, trans mount. By the way, y'all, if you need Pontiac GTO motor mounts and trans mounts, of course they're all, well, let's see. This one's China, this one's India, that one's India. But O'Reilly Auto Parts, there's your part numbers. Them things were less than $10 a piece. Couldn't get them anywhere cheaper online. So drag shocks, cam and lifters, air shocks or Monroes, they're already under the back of the car. Mickey Thompson valve covers. Some new lug nuts, Dormans, all the new center link, all the new front suspension stuff, idler arm, tie rod ends, everything that's new. Here's our lower control arms and upper control arms, and I'll throw the unboxing videos in there for you guys next, right after this. Boom. All right, y'all, our lower control arms have arrived from the drop shipper who ordered them from China. They came separately, but they're here now. Got both of them. They're pretty decent quality, I do believe. Guess we'll see about fit them at one of these days. I messed up and ordered what I thought was a pair of drag shocks, 3-way adjustable. These are on the S10, they work really well, but I only ordered one, so I had to reorder and order another one. Got our Monroe air shocks for the rear. Got an idler arm in. We're still missing our center link, but parts are coming in slowly. Control arm's gonna be pretty sweet though. Show y'all kind of what it looks like. You know, obviously I'm not done. It's got to be wiped down and everything before you can paint it. Some of these smaller areas I have to get a smaller brush out for, but I'm not going to time lapse me cleaning this whole thing, so there you go. Making a little bit more progress. That hole got bigger when I touched it. I'm working on the firewall a little bit now, trying to knock the surface stuff off, get where we can paint some of that, especially down in here, areas that are going to be a problem in the future. Just trying to slow the old card. Get that off there. Just trying to clean it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Maybe preserve it a few more years for the next generation, when all you can buy is electric crap and gasoline's outlawed. This is the stuff that's gonna matter. So we can make it last a little longer. That's what's important. Tell y'all what though, it's nasty. Yeah, it's rough. But firewall is looking better. Frame rail is looking better. I think it's kind of about as good as it's gonna get. Wipe it down, use that Rust-Oleum oil-based enamel on the frame and stuff. This was clean. I wire wheeled this up, makes it shiny. Do this in that brush on enamel because it don't really matter, and then we'll probably spray the firewall just so it looks a little bit better. I mean, this ain't, you know, this ain't gonna be no show car, y'all, but it'll be oh, there is a hole. Dang. But it will be a 69 GTO back on the road. Gonna be pretty sweet. Since I'm already nasty, reckon I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this timing cover. Fella I got that other block from said to replace those, so I need to look into that, and then wire wheel this cross member so it can get painted. Figure if we clean up everything we touch on the motor and on the car and put it back together a little at a time, eventually this will be a pretty decent little machine. So that is the plan. Dad's in there sanding on the front springs, which is a lot of work, a lot worse than doing the rears. We sanded the rears and he painted them. They look good, but in front the coils are tighter, so, and they had like undercoating or something on them, so they're a pain in the butt. Alright, y'all. Cleaning up this old timing cover. Was just gonna knock the junk off of it, but it's kind of polishing. It looks pretty good. So I think what I'm gonna do is get one of the little air sanders out and clean up all this casting flash. You know what I mean? Smooth this thing up a little bit more. And then polish it a little bit. I mean, it ain't gonna be like brand new, but shoot, just takes time, you know. Time and a little bit of work, make it look better. All right, y'all. It's been quite a bit of work here. Needs to be wiped down and stuff still, and I gotta finish cleaning the inside and the back side, put a new seal in it. But a little more to do. This whole thing's pretty shiny for a turd, you know. Still got paint and stuff on it, and the crevices I ain't got to, but it'll look good on there. You won't hardly see it anyway. So a little bit of shiny will be nice, hidden down in there amongst all the junk on the front of the motor. Now I gotta wire wheel that so we can paint it. Okay. Alright, y'all, there's the cross member. Wire wheel cleaned up best I can. Dad washed it with some gas. It's the 2 hold downs, and that's for the emergency cable. So that's all cleaned up. Gonna get ready to weld the cracks in the frame is the next plan. If y'all look, there's been a washer welded on right there. The other side's the same way, so I'm gonna clean that up a little bit. I'm guessing it's been wrecked right there, maybe. And that's why the frame cracks so bad on this side. I gotta clean that up some more too, because it's got a washer on it. But that's my assumption there. So we're gonna weld this up, then cleaning up some stuff. Dad sanded and got the pull springs ready. Clean them. I wire wheeled the outside of the oil pan. The inside still got to be cleaned. Polished all that up. Clean that up. So what's left is to start on the frame. Clean a little more before I started prepping these cracks to weld. I started following this one. Oh, hang on, let me get y'all in focus here. So we're on the passenger side. This is the spring pocket. Started following it. So this is the top of the frame rail. Right here. It's hard to tell what we're talking about, but that joker wraps almost all the way around to the top. So I'm gonna guess these folks were just Dukes of Hazzard in this old GTO. Got this one clean pretty good, and now I'm gonna gouge out what I can get to. That don't need it because it's got a gap. That other one does. This one's cracked here. It's cracked there. It appears that it might wrap around as well. Maybe just a little bit. I need to wire wheel that one some more and prep it. I'm dirty. We're gonna get it welded up today. That'll probably be the end of the day. Try to get some paint on this thing maybe tomorrow if I can come to the shop. Just depends on, I haven't really been working on the yard, and I need to work on the driveway and cut the grass and stuff at the house. I've been kind of putting that junk off because I've been so busy here. So we'll see. But I'm gonna get these prepped and then let y'all watch me do some welding. Okay. About ready to fire the old MIG welder up. Got it gouged out pretty good. That one's cracked like crazy under there. This side goes here, wraps around the other side. I'm gonna have to weld them up. Got my old torch out. This one wraps around this side up to the top, and then it's cracked under there, there, and there. So reckon we'll Weld her up best we can. That's what we do. Y'all ready? Weld her up. Yeah. Mr. Kitty's ready. Yeah. is welded. I should have done a little bit more prep work, but it's not cracked anymore, so that's a good thing. I guess I'll show you all the welds. Let me give you a little factory comparison so that we know that my quality is at least on their level. Just a little bit of porosity, so I'm pretty sure mine are gonna meet factory GM standards. Although they should be better than that, but let's see what we got. I ain't brushed the smoke off of it yet, but there's one. And it comes around up under here. And then there's two. There's three. There's number 4. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9. That one continued under there. And there's number 10. So, welds like garbage, which is partially my fault. Well, I guess it's all my fault. I didn't clean it enough. So, but it's welded now. It ought not to fall off. It's been Dukes of Hazzarded once. Hopefully, if we don't do it again, we shouldn't have a problem. So that much is done. Now, I'm gonna weld a nut on that stud and get that broke bolt out. And then this is our performer that for the 400 that Kenny sold me. It's gonna be awesome. And I was talking to Dalton from Pole Barn Garage about that manifold, and he was like, man, I'll trade you a Dominator, because he's got a real mild motor, which I do too. And I was like, well, I was at that fella Keith's house getting that other 400 block, so scored him an intake as well for $100, and I'm gonna weld a nut on there and get that stud out. So since the welder's out and all, intake manifold first. Now, this is normally really simple, but because I turned the camera on, it's probably not gonna be. But get you a good crusty, rusty washer. Junk you don't actually need, you know what I mean? Because it's done for after this. You're gonna weld a washer on, and then you're gonna weld a nut on. So that's the plan. If I can get this to stay here. Alright, y'all ready? Get your old junk nut. Hopefully the washer's attached. This is normally real easy when it's different materials, like your weld. You got a steel bolt broke off an aluminum manifold. Now if it's steel and steel, it's a little bit more difficult. Alright. Nuts filled up. Hopefully it'll cooperate. I like to let it cool off a little bit because that weld's still malleable. You might twist it off. There you go. That's all there is to it. Your broke bolt with your washer welded to it, your nut welded on top. That's it. Free of charge. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. How about that? Is that a deal? Should be. It's a pretty good deal. But we're not done yet. That's the manifold. Throw this little greasy timing cover up here. See how I want to do this. Try to clamp it where I don't goober it up. Don't need a lot of pressure. Just don't need to jump off on my toes. That's the important part. Don't want it to jump off on my toes. Alright, this one's got a stud sticking out of it still. I'm gonna make sure y'all can see that. That one's still got a stud sticking out of it, or well, part of the bolt. The other one was just below flush. So we're just gonna set our nut on there and not use the washer. And then always start your fire on the broke bolt, not the piece you're trying to attach to it. Fill it up. Let it cool off. And now, like, I've done this with a TIG welder. You can, like, when you've got especially aluminum LS heads are bad about exhaust manifold bolts breaking off, and they'll be broke off like half the bolt up in the hole. Stick that tungsten way out there and just dab you a little wire in there and literally just build up a stud coming out, and they'll come out too. Y'all ready? There we go. That's all there was to it. Alright. There you can see it. That's where the goat's at. That's the progress that's been made. Y'all saw all the parts we've got for it. You know, this thing's been a pile of work. And of course, you know, some of what we're doing doesn't have to be done. Some of it does. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, today's the 17th, right? And I should be on the road the 29th. So 9 and 3. They're dirty. I'm dirty. So 12 days. There's the GTO right there. There it is. No tires. No nothing. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I don't know. It's just what we got going on. Motor had to be rebuilt. There's no way around it. We could have LS'd it to start with, but too much money's been spent now, so it's gonna have a Pontiac. You know, that's the nature of hot rodding. So there she is, old slotted mags with tiny tires. Look, I appreciate all y'all tuning into the channel, watching the videos. I really appreciate all our subscribers. When I checked this morning, we had 991. So we're 9 away from 1,000. I have no idea what we have right now. I've been wide open. We've been cleaning and scrubbing and welding and grinding and all that stuff. And I need to go take a bath. So y'all have a good one.